So I want to welcome everybody tonight for being here. My name is Doug McCraw, and I've sort of, with my business partner in crime, Liz Hoffbauer, over here, have done this the development of Fat Village over the past 11 or 12 years. And we have brought in some different exciting artists. Jesus, I have known for that, 25 years, too many years to count. We stopped counting. His work is very powerful, it's very graphic, and it's very unique. And I think of all the artists that I've known and whose work I have seen in the 30 plus years that I've collected, that he is truly one of the great colorists. I mean, he has a use and a way of painting with color that's like nothing almost I've ever seen. So it's with great pleasure that we're welcoming Jesus here to show his work, and tonight he's going to talk to you about his background, his artwork, and how it transpired. So, Jesus, welcome.
Thank you, Doug. And before I start, I want to thank, Fat Village and Doug, and all the team that have put this together. And this is kind of a dream come true because we have been speaking with Doug for many years about this, and finally it's here, So, and I'm very glad to share a little part of who I am in my life, because painting has been my life since I was a little kid, and for me, the art in general, but specifically painting, because I have a training as a graphic designer, and you can tell by the paintings, but painting for me is about freedom. It's about, because freedom really lies in the mind, and painting brings for me that opportunity of being really free, What it means to be free, it's up to each one of us, but in my case is explore ideas, explore concepts. And it works, in my case, works at the conscious level and at that subconscious level. I'm one of those people that like to dream in the sense that some people don't like to dream in the night because it's weird. Me, I like to chase those dreams. I like to get in the morning, and she's my witness. I like in the morning to wake up and remember, try to remember, and it's amazing. Many paintings come from that background, that subconscious, but some of them really come from the conscious part, and some of them are both. And this is the beautiful part of it. I'm gonna give you a few examples of what my paintings mean to me, because there's a lot of symbolism, there's a lot of meaning, but that's for me. But for me, the most interesting part is when somebody approaches me and tells me about the painting. That is amazing, because indeed, those things that the person is seeing at or expressing at, they are there in their own eyes, their own perception, and that's the beauty of it. Art, and at some point I put it there, art is subjective, it's totally subjective, But for me, it's a vehicle of freedom, of joy. It's a vehicle of happiness. That's why they use art and painting in particular as therapy for people that are, they have trouble in the mind and stuff. It works because it's a great therapy. In other words, and it's a good therapy for me, of course, because unfortunately, we live in this very insane world, very sick world, where things are upside down. So a way to go through it and not jeopardize your own happiness and freedom, you have the arts. And thanks to people like Doug, it's amazing. I mean, he always said, oh, but I don't know how to paint, I don't know how to create. But what artists will do without people like him? We need people like him. And he have done his part. I mean, you know, it's like yeah. It have taken him years and years, and it have taken me years to stand here tonight. I mean, it's like, you know, it's the sum of a lot of years of relationship, and anyway, he had, I will say, each time as I was doing this show, I went through my work, of course, you know, because it's a retrospective, and then I saw this little series that I have left. And then who has the best piece of this series? Doug. You know, Doug has a different series. I mean, he has the best. And I'm happy because they're appreciated, loved, taken care of, and that's the reason I'm here tonight, you know. So what I'm gonna do next, I'm gonna show you a few paintings. I'm gonna tell you a little bit about them, and then you're gonna have an idea of at least what my vision is, or why, because sometimes, you know, people want to know why he does that. That's crazy, and you know, not some things are not that crazy. You will see. So we can start with the first painting. Okay, this is Dos Universos. This is I switch. By the way, I switch both languages, no? But two universe. That's what it is. No, two universe. One of the things that, because certain things get my attention, you know, become more impressive, or I really focus on it. In this time, you know, in the 90s, and this is kind of the late 90s, I was always passionate about, one of the things was the DNA, the discovery of DNA that you can see there, right? DNA is the core of what we are, and we are unique. We have a unique DNAs. And always, you will see in my work, there's always couples. Okay? But sometimes there's three people. And this painting I choose to show because it's very interesting. I, myself, like the big ego thing, you are in the middle, right? Now, you notice when you are with one person, the conversation, everything that goes on is very different as when there's two people. There are things that you don't share because there's this other person, you know, you are more reserved. It's not like a one-to-one kind of thing. So when there are three people, intimacy is shared in a different way, and you know, so I call it two universes because on one side, there's one universe with one individual there, so it's in the other side. So these are three people that are sharing, you know what, at the same time, one universe, you know. But the perception you always going to have is you're going to relate to this person in a different, totally different way that you will do with the other person next to you, you know. So that's what this painting is about, and it is about the uniqueness of, you know, the DNA, you know, how each color, but then when you exchange and you intimate with other people, your DNA is involved there as well, you know. It's like it's you sharing your DNA with other people, and that's what it is, you know. And well, I'll take the opportunity to explain that you're always going to see snakes, you're always going to see, you know, it's like, I think it's pretty clear that I'm into snakes, right? But because the snake is a very powerful symbol. You know, it's an ancient symbol of wisdom, or I don't know if you've seen for example, the doctor's logo, you know, it comes from ancient times. There's snakes, and you know, so the snake is a very important animal for me, you know, and it's like since I was a little kid, you know, I like reptiles, you know. She doesn't like reptiles much, you know. I love iguanas, for example. Right now we have all kinds of iguanas, but anyway, so that's what this is about, and at the time I was kind of focusing on that, no? So we can show the next one. Okay, that's it. You see, there's many approaches, and the realm of how my brain, you know, brings subject and expresses subjects in the painting is very complex. Like every brain, each one of our brains is going to be always surprising, amazing, and you yourself surprise, and you surprise the others, and sometimes people think you're crazy and la 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 la. But the thing is, for example, this is a very spiritual one, because this is the time I really got into, and you're gonna see that at one time I was doing some mandalas, it's on the show, but then I focus on Buddhism, you know? So this painting is like a Buddha, like a big Buddha, you know? And so the sight, it's looking at you, but at the same time it represents the different levels of enlightenment, of higher spirituality as you go higher. But at the same time, it is the mountain. Why? The mountain for any ancient people is a very important, you know, it's an important figure. Is the mother, is you know, it's like back where I come from, it's called the Pachamama. It's called, you know, the big mountain. Always is reverent and, you know, it's holy. So at the same time, it's a Buddha, but at the same time, it's a mountain. And here comes another aspect of the work, which is you will sense, I guess, that's what I sense, masculinity and femininity, both at the same time. You know, I think, and also a little bit of sensuality with the red lips and stuff. So it's hard to tell if it's a female or a male. And we all got that. You see, we all have this feminine and masculine side. It doesn't matter if you're a boy or a girl, you always have both. Of course, some develop more one side, you know, and that encompasses and covers the whole universe, which is, you know, feminine and masculine. And it's everywhere in the universe. There's always two sides to everything. So in this painting is both of them. And there's religiosity, you know, because at the same time it's like a temple, you know. But there's always a little bit of sensuality, a little bit of erotica if you want, but at the same time you have this kind of holiness if you want, this religious aspect of it, you know. And so I personally love this painting a lot because it has a lot of meaning, you know. I mean, that's for me. I mean, you, of course, for you can mean whatever. It can be, you know. Another thing that I play a lot with before we pass to the next one is with color. You see, you're gonna see a lot of humans in all my paintings. You're gonna see, but I always use different colors for them. Sometimes it's symbolic, sometimes it's not. But I love the fact of the diversity of this planet. You know, I love the fact that we have different colors of skin. And unfortunately, we still live in a world that cannot deal with differences. You know, I mean, this country still struggles with, you know, color of skin and stuff. You remember what I was saying about how painting gives me the freedom? In my paintings, people can be any color I want, or they want, because sometimes they are the ones that tells me what color they want to be. That's a completely different story, but it has to do, it has to do with inspiration and stuff, you know. But no, they, you know, sometimes you will hear from artists, you know, they talk to me. Sometimes I pass through my studio and it's like the work that is sitting there is, you know, it's like, hey, okay, when you're gonna continue me, when you are gonna, you know, when you're gonna, of course it's my imagination talking to me, but it's a lot of fun because in the end, they live by themselves. I mean, they stand by, once I'm done, they stand by themselves, you know, and they have a message, I don't know. For me, they already gave the message. So next, otherwise we're gonna take forever. Okay, this I did just last year. It has to do with a lot of things, but basically I call them the twins because it's the twins that lives inside of you. You have a twin. You don't know. You have the twins that we know, that is the typical other, you know, the other being that is born. But there's another twin that is inside you, because we humans, unfortunately, we have to struggle between being who we really are and what society expects from us, or to accomplish. I'm a lucky guy. I'm a lucky person. Every day I wake up thinking, because not only I do what I like to do, but you know what? I can be whoever I want to be because I'm an artist. Oh, always, you know, they tell me, and I'm very lucky. Oh, he can get away because he's an artist. Oh, he's crazy because he's an artist. Yes, yes. But how many of us, and I see it every day, you want to really be yourself, and you can't because you have a job, you have an image to pretend and stuff. So this painting represents, and you see all those hands, they're trying to reach each other, but at the same time, it's one person. Actually, it's one person, but it's that relationship of yourself with yourself kind of thing, you know? So that's it. That's what, you know, because people look at it and say, yeah, they're too. No, it has a more deeper feeling, a more deeper meaning to it, you know? So anyway, next. Thank you. This I love. This I love. This I painted last year. And it's not a big painting, because that's another thing. We always, with Doug, you know, I have this, you know, Americans, everything is small, medium, and large, you know, so small, medium, large. In painting, doesn't happen that way. For me, this painting, which is like this size, has more meaning for me, than many other humongous paintings I have done or whatever. You know, it's like, why? Because it's in the content. I call it, you know, it's flor de mujer. Again, it's in Spanish, but it means it's a woman flower. Woman flower. Because for me, I'm in love with women. I always have been in women, you know. Like my mother tried to marry me many times and get me girlfriends, and you know, I said, I give up. You like all of them. Yes, I do. And I see women as flowers that grow in a garden, and you know, I don't like to rip them, and you know, no, you know, it's like, it's a beautiful flower, you contemplate. If she let you touch her or smell her, yeah, that's a different story, yeah? Okay, but this woman represents a lot of things, okay? I'm gonna start just overall. The woman is a flower. It's a beautiful flower, you know? And I venerate women. And I think this world will be much better if women will be in charge. We will take a big risk, but I think deep in myself that this world will be better. That's for sure. So, you know, and you know that. So, second, okay? You see, she's open, and she shows her vagina with it's like completely open. Yes, that's where we all come through there. And there's nothing wrong with it, you know? And you see the tongue, you know, is reaching. Why? Because a woman has and deserves and have the right to have pleasure. Something that is always in society kind of hidden, and no, woman, if a man, you know, it's like having pleasure, it's okay, but if a woman has, you know, it's like, no. And this painting represents all that to me. You know, it's like, I think I got it right there. You know, it's like, I was not very aware when I painted it, but after I finish it, I look at it and I say, wow, I mean, this has a lot of meaning. And I'm going to tell you something else, which she was involved in. We built, with a group of people, we built this little hospital in Burkina Faso, Africa. It took us years and years, you know? And we did fundraisers and stuff because we believe that genital mutilation is wrong. It's wrong in the name of tradition, or what you know, even you know, when they circumcise and stuff, but what they did to women is horrible in Africa. And I learned that in Colombia, in South America, they do the same in the name of tradition. No, so we didn't go and fought them to, oh, you are doing something wrong, you know, because, you know, they cut the pleasure from this woman forever. So it's so badly done because, you know, it's in Africa, they use a knife, whatever, and sometimes it's possible to restore. So that little hospital in Burkina Faso, it was to be able to at least pull the wound or whatever it is up outside, so at least the woman can feel something, you know. So that's another meaning that this has, and that's what I was passionate about, that activism that I was involved. Because again, I'm in love with women. How can you do that to a woman? How can you do that to a 5-year-old girl? I mean, come on, you know, it's like, no. So that's all that is inside this little painting, you know? So anyway, next, please. This is called Danza Moche. I picked all the ones in Spanish. I normally put in English too, but it's okay. So this is a good sample of what normally you're going to find. You're going to find the male, the female. In this case, it's just like a game and stuff. And the way you see all those polka dots and stuff, and the way the colors end on the hands, on the feet, is classical iconography from the Moche Indians. Me, I'm a mix. I have, believe it or not, I have German, a little bit of German. My father was a Schreiber, okay? My grandmother was Schreiber. I have Portuguese, I have Spanish, of course. What else I have there? That's it. But the one that I feel like really identified is with the Moche Indians, which is the side of my mom, you know. And this culture is fascinating. This culture is like, you know, it's amazing, and I come from those people. So my DNA, talking about DNA, comes from those people too, you know? So in this piece, kind of I pay homage to my ancestors in a way, because the more I learn about the Moches, I don't know if some of you heard about the Lord of Sipan, this big discovery they did many, many years ago. It's, in any case, it's a big, big discovery they did within the Moche land, you know, and it was this big, big celebrity person, and with all this art, this precious art surrounding the person, you know. Unfortunately, the custom was once this Lord died, you know, everybody have to die with him. So the servants and everything have to be killed, but for them it was an honor to go to the other realm with this Lord. So when they found the tomb, the place, I mean, everybody was there. So, you know, everybody was there, even the dog, you know, it was like, you know, okay, everybody, and it's a holy place, you know, it's like, but these people were so much artistic and so wise. I don't know how wise was to put everybody, you know, together, but beautiful. I come from these beautiful people that paradoxically in the West world, you know, are called primitive or are called like behind, and yet they have so much wisdom. They got so much wisdom. If I can go back a little bit to what is, for example, sexuality, they don't have any problems. Even, you see how Westerns, sexuality ends when the pregnancy comes. That's it. There's no more sex. That's it. And it's very psychological, emotionally. It's a complete cut. Well, these people didn't have a problem. Everything was in the same universe because sexuality is a part of creation and recreation, and goes to infinity. That's another subject, but which fascinates me and it's in my work too. So you know what? They didn't saw those divisions and stuff, and most important of all, they saw it as something natural and beautiful, which in the West is kind of still, you know. And I'm gonna start talking about America, but that's it. Okay, next please, if we have one. That's it? Okay, that's it. So if you want to continue the stories, we can go where the exposition is. You're gonna see a lot of. Yes. Sorry about that.
The eyes that I see are very similar to your eyes, but my question is, in a number of the paintings, you've chosen to use green. Is there something behind using green, a brown pupil, a green iris.
But not in all of them, right? Which?
Not in all of them,
Uh-huh.
but I see a number of
Oh, yeah, yeah. Ah, okay. No, no, no. It's just coincidence. Just coincidence because you're gonna see that I use. Well.
You're not getting away with that one.
Okay, but yeah. Well, yeah, you're right. She's right. She's right. But you're gonna see over there.
You know what? I will say something about this because I've certainly been familiar with Jesus' work for many, many years. And you can see eyes done in almost any color. And sometimes within a painting, eyes might be different colors.
Yes, true. That's true. That's what my mother said. When so my I mean, it has probably is obviously, you know, I would say every artist in a way paints his own self. You know, you can look at anything, literature. This is your own self. You're portraying somehow your own self. But maybe the question would be, what is with the eyes, right? And I don't know. Sometimes I was talking with one of my sisters, and she said that something has to have happened to me because I have this obsession with eyes. For example, I cannot tolerate works of art without eyes. If you are going to portray the human or animals, you know, I even put flowers because sometimes I do kind of flower like you see, but it has to have eyes, you know, because for me eyes are vital. I mean, I always say, you know, if I have to choose, it's my eyes and my hands. That's it. You can the rest, okay, whatever, but my hands and my hands just because I needed to paint, and my eyes because I need to see. You see, I need to see, and I have been drawn to light all my life. That explains the bright colors, and you know, because there's only two forces, Eros or Thanatos. Some artists choose Thanatos, and it's, you know, and I have my little bit of darkness at one point, you know, as a teenager and stuff, but then no, I seek the light. And when I said I seek the light, it's in all regards, physically and spiritually as well. You know, I always, you know, I study religions, or philosophy, theology and stuff because I wanted to know. Of course, I'm way past all that. You know, I'm on a stage that I'm more calm and everything has integrated. And Doug told me something about my work that at this point, everything is starting to integrate, and he's right. You know, right now I'm painting. I was laid off from my job as an art director a year ago, and it's the big favor they did me. At the beginning it was a little scary, but then, you know, everything started falling into place. Look at this, I'm here, you know, so.
I would also say that what I was just saying, if you look, but these are two different entities here, but the eyes here in this painting are different.
Yeah.
But I have seen in one figure, I've seen the eyes with different colors.
And one more thing, you're always going to see animals mix with humans and humans mix with animals, and so, because for me, the natural world is one. The natural world is one, and we are the fortunate that have been placed in this planet to appreciate it, you know, what is around us, and we are the ones that have the consciousness to appreciate the beauty and the wonder that is nature, you know. Unfortunately, we live in a planet that still have a long way to go. You know, it's a long way to go. But this is it. And I want to finish with this little story, if nobody has another question. But I always believe in, you know, you have to help. You have been in this planet to help. You know, and somebody told me one day a beautiful story about this tide brought all these fish to the shore. Maybe some of you know this because it's a known story. You know, and this man arrives and sees at the distance these men grabbing the fish that are dying on the shore because the tide went back, and he's throwing the fish back in the ocean, you know. And he said, "You're crazy, man. Look at this. It's a sea of fish that are dying and stuff." And the guy just turns around and said, "But not this one, and not this one." I believe in that. Maybe I want to save this world and you know, but in your place, the little you can do, the kindness you can give, the love you can give, the appreciation and being thankful every day for the little or much you have, and that's it. Just waking up in the morning, it's a, some people call it a miracle. I don't like that word too much, but you have to be thankful. You have one more day. One day, there's not going to be that day, you know. So for me, painting has brought that appreciation, and I love to paint, and I wish, you know, I can paint and keep going, and that's what I'm doing right now. I keep doing it and doing it and doing it. So any other question? Yes, but especially, I carry with me, I should have brought it, but I always carry a little book. And in that book, I have a weird dream, I wrote it down, and I make a little drawing. Okay? Sometimes that becomes a painting, not always. But the actual dream that I write it down. So, you know, it's like, it's there, captured. Because that's another thing. This is like a hunt. It's the hunt of ideas, it's the hunt of feelings, it's the hunt of, you know, life itself. And, you know, what is beautiful about art is that you capture a moment. But, you know, it's not a photograph. Although photography is an interesting subject, but you capture a moment that has not only the moment, but it captures feelings, you capture dreams, you capture ideas, and that's the beauty of art, you know. Something Mr. Macron have understood all his life, you know, it's like, so anyway. So any other question?
You do sculpture too, right? Different type, you don't only paint, but you do other types of...
Oh, well, yes. I love, hello. Oh, it's okay. We are about to go to the exhibition, but it's okay. Okay. So, what was...
The question was, do you do other forms of art besides?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. And again, I have to thank Doug Macron because he saw that possibility, that side of me that I didn't know very well. So he will suggest something to paint, I will paint. Something to do, I will do. And so, in other words, I can go from a little tiny object, and I have my lamp with, you know, magnifying glasses, to something really big, you know. So and I can work in all kinds of mediums as well. So, you know, it's like that is a privilege as an artist, that, you know, you give me a material and I will do something with it. You know, at least minimum, I'm going to paint, and I'm going to find the way to go around the object or the material, which sometimes have been very challenging because sometimes it doesn't work, you know. Sometimes, yeah, that's about technique, that's about, you know, like, and I also have been an illustrator. For a time I was painting orchids because I can do very realistic things. But for me, people find them fascinating. I understand why, because it's an ability. But for me, it's kind of boring. I mean, for me, it's more interesting to create something that doesn't exist. You know, if there's something, I make a portrait of her. Okay, you know, even I grasp her inner core, or her soul, or, you know, great. But she's there. She exists. People have taken pictures of her. You can go through. But when you create something that doesn't exist, that's it. I mean, that's me, you know, because when I was a young artist, you don't know exactly where to go through, and then you have to make money to sustain yourself, and, you know, it's like, so then drawing get me, you know, like sometimes I was bad in mathematics. I was really bad in, you know, so I exchanged for the class of drawing. You know, can you help me? Okay, you help me in mathematics or whatever. Or I will do these porno drawings to kids, you know, to help me, you know, like, but do me a drawing, okay? You know, like we were like 14, 15, curious about sexuality. So I will, you know, do some drawings and like pretty accurate and everything. So, you know, because when I was a teenager, unfortunately, sex was very a taboo, and teenagers were lost, and like still kind of is. So, you know what, but I was curious enough to find out more things than the kids of my age. I don't like soccer, so instead of playing soccer, I found other things more interesting, you know. And then I will share them, you know. So in that trade have helped me through that. One time I was here in Miami, I didn't have much money to pay some kind of vitamins that I needed. I was a vegetarian and I needed some, I was into the supplements and all that stuff. Well, guess what? The lady took a painting. She said, oh, I love what you do. Okay. I got my bunch of vitamins, she got the painting. And it's a beautiful thing that happens. It's a very human thing, this trade. With when you have these kind of abilities, that's it, you know? So, okay.
How do you feel about attachment to your work when you go to commercialize it?
Oh man, don't can talk about it. It's like you see, they are so dear to me. And you will understand why Picasso, at one point, when he became rich and famous, he started buying his art back. The museum, the little museum in Paris, I don't know if you guys have seen it, the little museum in Paris, it's the work, most of it is the work he purchased back. Because he loved his work, you know? And I will do the same, you know, I will do the same. If I have the choice, with many people took advantage, and people take advantage of artists, you know, it's like, because we are very emotional, very sentimental. You know what? You give away. If you were to live in a world without need of money, you will give paintings or artwork because you feel like, because you love the person. If the person loves your art and loves you, that's it, it's yours. And it had happened to me in my artistic life many, many times. And there's people that have taken advantage of that too. No? And every girlfriend I have, guess what? There's a lot of artwork that have been lost through the trail. I mean, you know, it's like, you know, but that's life. That's life. And again, Doug have taught me that to let go. But it's difficult because it's you know, I don't have children. Those are my children. You know, so yes, I mean, it's hard. It's hard. You know, when it comes to marketing and stuff, I'm lost. But I have Doug. I have Doug. So, if you have another question?
Roughly, how long does it take you to create one of these wonderful children?
Oh, it depends.
I understand. There's a range.
There's a range.
There's a minimum, I'm sure. And then
Okay, there's two things to consider. One is the physical actual timing for things, because one brush, two brushes, okay. But there's also the emotional part, if you want, of the psychological part. Sometimes, you know, you let it sit because the idea is not clear, because the color is not right, and you don't feel that you are there, and you come back to it. So it's, in that sense, it's very difficult to put a time. Again, that's why it's so difficult to measure in a large, small, and, you know, large, medium, and small. It's hard because a small painting can take a long time. Like a big painting, put the work aside, can take nothing because, you know, you already had the idea, you put it, you paint it, you have the colors clear in your head, you have the subject clear in your head, and that's it. So it's you understand what I mean? So it's those are the things that are sometimes for people difficult to understand, you know. It's like, and you will see it in the art market, in the art world. I mean, why this little thing costs that much? Because go and check it out. I mean, it's like, you know, it's like Gauguin, for example. Gauguin didn't big paintings and stuff. He paints small paintings, and who cares how long it took him? But they are wonderful and beautiful. And unfortunately, you know, he was a visionary like many other artists. You know, I'm lucky to live in this time that, you know, I can live out of my artwork. But, you know, back in the days, those are my real heroes, you know. Van Gogh, Gauguin, I mean, it's people that sacrifice their beings, their life, you know. Now they are doing all these things. I mean, it's like, yeah, it's beautiful and stuff. Yeah, everybody loves it and stuff. But how about the time when the artist is telling you, this is a new thing, this is something that, you know, I think, you know, okay, it's good, we did this, but how about this? You know? But we live in the time that it's possible to be open enough to break that. Do you know why I didn't paint in School of Art and I studied graphic design? One, because graphic design showed me to draw. Painting at the time, it was abstract expressionism, because that's the school that was the director had when he was in Europe. Okay, I didn't want to paint, you know, just spots of color. I wanted to learn to draw. So in graphic design, it gave me two things. It gave me drawing and gave me a way to make a living. And my father, that was the concern of my dad. How are you going to live? So, son, do something commercial. But I have to thank the graphic design. It gave me the illustration, the drawing, and then the illustration. And then I jump into children's book, which is another, I dedicated 5 years to that. And it was beautiful. I work with education and la, 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 la. But that's another side of me that, you know, I'm very versatile, but I never had to do something that is not related to what I do. And I'm a lucky guy. I mean, I'm really lucky because, you know, I do what I want, and at this point of my life, that's it. You know, it's like, I'm set, and I can continue painting. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. I want to thank everybody that have come to my exhibition and my talk tonight for this private showing. And I want to thank, of course, Fat Village for hosting my work. I leave with a great feeling of have something, accomplished something that is great for an artist, which is sharing his work. I was able to, for the first time in many years, to talk about my work. I didn't do that in a long time, but it feels good. I feel good about it, although the pictures, they speak by themselves, and that's what we are doing right now. But I want to thank everybody that have come to share this experience with me, and I love it. Thank you.